Now, the building you see behind me is the La General Hospital. This hospital serves thousands of people. Now, in a few days, this hospital will be no more because it has to be raised down to give way for redevelopment work. Now, this has become necessary due to several challenges. For instance, when it rains, flooding is one of the big issues that has to be dealt with. Now, you can also see that the building has developed some cracks and some fittings are just hanging loosely. Now, sometime in June last year, Citi News was here to assess the situation. And so we'll bring you a report on that and also look at months on what has happened to the hospital and what authorities equally need to say about this closing down of the hospital and the redevelopment work and how long it's going to take.
For the thousands of people who live at La, Teshi and its environs in Accra, the La General Hospital is the first place they visit for medical care when the need arises. Originally a polyclinic, the hospital is almost outstretching its capacity. With problems like congestion and lack of logistics, it is apparent that the place needs some healing of its own. Reports of flooding at the hospital's antenatal care unit are just as worrying to staff as it is to visitors. A few weeks have passed after the last flooding incident, but in the minds of staff here, they remember it like it was just yesterday.
When it rains, the place is very bad. The place gets flooded. And the last time that you rained, the pregnant women were on chairs. The place got flooded. Yeah, so we couldn't work. It went inside the consulting rooms, so we couldn't work.
Expectant mothers who were at the hospital on that day say the unexpected flooding was traumatizing. 20-year-old Fauzia is one of them.
So I am a consumer emuedin pa san toka se de pete habaya atache man so na toka se ha nyina ewiri wunya bebi nje wotena se wotubetumi afonte se wosoro na ogina so. In fact, sometimes we go inside when wunya bebi ntena se wo de akra no bobo.
The situation has put the minds of staff on the edge for years now. As the peak of the rainy season draws closer, more of the workers have questioned the stability of the building which houses the antenatal care unit itself.
The building looks like the whole structure is falling apart. Anytime when you enter into that building, you would have to think twice, you would have to look around because you think your safety is at stake. And many times we come in here literally scared. Because day in, day out, you have portions of the building falling apart. You enter into offices and the whole structure is falling apart. And so we definitely need to look at doing something about the building.
Built over 5 decades ago, the facility can now barely contain the large numbers it is meant to cater for on a daily basis.
The space is not big enough to contain all the people. Sometimes when we come, the place is cloudy. You don't even have a place to stand. You come and go. Like before you get to the house, you are almost stressed. So the stress is too much. So if the government could do something about it for us.
Same goes for the midwives at the facility who say they feel discouraged every time they are reporting to work.
In fact, I don't feel good when, especially when it's going to rain. When I see that the weather has changed and I'm coming to work, I don't feel like coming because you don't know what will happen to you here. And looking at our building here, look at the cracks at the building. In fact, should something happen now, you feel insecure working here. So we are pleading for the government to do something about it.
Until some light shines on this facility, the lives of the several hundreds of people together with the staff of the La General Hospital will be at risk, especially after a heavy downpour. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Ni Ama.
Right, so this is the male surgical ward. Now, when you look around, you see that indeed there has to be some kind of renovation works. This is the sink that serves patients on admission. So if you are admitted today, this is the sink that you are going to be using. And clearly, this needs to be fixed. Now, when you also check the room from the door to some wooden panels, it is quite clear that there's so much work that needs to be done. The last time we gathered that patients were here was on Tuesday. And so by Friday, the whole place is going to be shut down. And by Sunday, we know that everybody is out here making way or giving way to the redevelopment works to begin here at the La General Hospital. I am going to be taking you round to other places to see what the state of this hospital is. Now, that up there is some kind of protective net with a wooden panel at the end. It has also come off. It appears that so much work indeed needs to be done. Even logistics here equally need to be replaced, and so it has come in handy, the redevelopment work to be undertaken here at the hospital. So we move around to see what else we can find here. Right, so this is the outpatient department of the hospital. We are currently here to find out what the situation here is like. Now, on a normal day, this facility records about 150 cases daily. But as you can tell, there's not much activity happening here. Well, I am told that the peak hours are in the morning. But I also gathered that officially, patients have been, or patrons have been informed of the closure of the hospital come 1st March. There are a couple of patients here who need to seek attention, and I'm going to be finding out from them what they make of this closure come Sunday. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Citi Newsroom.
Thank you.
May I know your name, please?
I'm Joseph Dankwa.
Okay. Joseph, where do you live around here?
Yeah. Okay. Close, about 100 meters from here.
Okay. So how does this hospital serve you?
Oh, they are serving us greatly. In everything, they are doing their best. You can see I have a young boy here who was delivered about 6 months ago. They tried their best in doing all the cesarean operations, and everything went on successfully. So I think they are doing all their best to serve us in the community.
Okay. Now, have you heard that the hospital is going to shut down?
Yes, I just heard 3 days ago.
Okay. Now, what does this mean to you?
Oh, it's a blow to us because that is the only simple means of getting your health being done to you. But we have no options. We want the hospital to be graded to a standard of high class so that we can also be proud of the hospital in our area.
Okay. Now, on Sunday, the hospital is going to shut down. What are you going to be doing in terms of healthcare delivery? Where would you be going?
It's a blow, but we have no option than to move to the nearest hospital, police hospital, and then 37 military hospital to have our treatment. But, you know, La General Hospital is our mother hospital. We have the blow, but we don't have anything to say about it.
So we are still on the La General Hospital redevelopment. Now I'm currently here at the Ministry of Health. Now, although officers will not speak to us on camera, we have been given the necessary information, and so we know exactly what is going to be happening. Now, let me quickly take you through the project scope. So when the hospital is finally ready, we are going to be having an outpatient department, including a well-equipped emergency unit and public health department, a surgical block with 4 theaters and maternity unit. We're also going to have some inpatient wards that includes female and male medical and surgical, as well as children's ward. There are other things that are going to be happening. Now, the whole redevelopment is going to take 2 years. That is 24 months, and it will cost 63 million US dollars that is funded by the government of Ghana. This project will also be undertaken by contractors that Messrs. Poly Chanda of China. So all things being equal, if we are supposed to be going by this information given to us by the Ministry of Health, it means that the building, that's the La General Hospital, is coming down, and in 2 years we are going to see another wonderful edifice with all the stuff I've mentioned earlier included.